Hello, and welcome to Critically Disdained and another off-brand review, where I review an album that doesn't fit in the genre of music that I normally talk about. Now, for a second, I would like to speak to any Swifties that may be watching this video, and first I would like to request that you stick with me through the video here. I am not a T-Swift fan, but I was unable to say anything bad about this record. I took an objective stance, and even though this music is not something that I enjoy or something that I listen to, it was done very well, and I think fans of Taylor Swift are going to really enjoy Taylor's versions infinitely better than the original recordings. Hands down, it is much better, and so please stick with me to the end. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So first off, for those of you who don't know the background as to why Miss Swift is re-recording her old albums and re-releasing them, I'll give you a quick recap. Bottom line is this. Her old record label, Big Machine Records, who at the time was led by Scott Borchetta, owned the masters to Taylor's albums, and they refused to strike up an appropriate deal to sell them back to Taylor. But then they turned around and sold them to music executive Scooter Braun. There is some dispute as to what actually happened between the three players involved, Taylor, Scooter, and the music company, but the industry being what it is and what it has consistently done to solidify its nefarious character, there is a high probability that Miss Swift is the victim in this scenario. Now, granted, it is all speculation and only the people directly involved know the facts and can know for sure who's telling the truth. But all things considered, I'd say there's pretty good odds that Taylor was probably the one that was done dirty in this situation. So now that you have a brief overview as to why Taylor is re-recording her music, let's take a moment and talk about Taylor's versions versus the originals done through Big Machine Records. And straight out the gate, it is very obvious that Taylor's versions are infinitely better than the original recordings. When I was preparing for this review, I listened to the album side by side. So I would go through song by song. I would listen to one song from Taylor's version, and then I would listen to the corresponding song from the original recordings. And the difference is off the charts. First off, the production quality on Taylor's version it's cleaner. It sounds nicer. The deeper toned instruments, such as bass, are more defined and present a fuller sound. And the dynamic range is definitely there and more prominent than in the previous version. And overall, the instrumentation has a much warmer sound quality to it. You can hear on Taylor's version that her voice has clearly matured. After all, it has been 14 years since she did the original recordings. But aside from natural improvement in her vocal tone and her talent due to time, practice, and experience, the new recordings are so much happier and her voice is much brighter. Especially when you listen to the album side by side, in the original releases, she almost sounds robotic in a way when you compare them to the much higher quality of her voice in her new recordings. There are some things that have not changed, and that is her storytelling ability. The lyrics are obviously the same, but if you're not a Swift fan, something you may not realize is that when she writes a very distinct story where you're able to see the scenes inside your head. Her words are very concise, and the imagery is always extremely vivid. And she wrote these songs in her early 20s, and considering her age at the time, she did an excellent job capturing the feelings and life situations beyond her years, but she did it with a youthful hope and outlook. And even though it's not completely realistic, I think she did a very good job of presenting life as it is, but also introducing an element of what we would like life to be. She really hits those emotional points, and a strong example of this, at least I think, would be in the song Story of Us. When she sings the line, "You held your pride like you should have held me," I felt that, and I think it's a real kicker for anybody who's been in that type of situation, that when you understand the gravity of that type of situation, you understand the feelings involved, and that line captures it so well. As far as the sound of the record as a whole, it leans very heavily on her country influences with some pop mixed in, but also she includes a few rock type elements throughout, peppered here and there. And there is definitely a balance of mood throughout the record. She starts out the album sounding very bright and happy with the song Mine, and then as it moves on, Taylor brings in some more somber songs such as Back to December and Dear John. But then she brings it right back to a more happy, lighthearted sound with the song Better Than Revenge, which, if I had to pick a favorite song from the record, this would probably be my favorite. Now, one of the bonuses that the Taylor's version of this record has that fans will enjoy are 6 new songs from Taylor's musical vault. Their quality is on par with the rest of the record. The only part that I feel could have been better was the song Electric Touch. Patrick Stump's vocals in this song didn't sound electric at all. It felt like he was singing and doing the feature out of obligation, even though Patrick and Taylor's voices harmonized really well. I think Jarrett Ray Reddick probably would have been a better feature to go in this song. Overall, this record was done very well and well worth redoing from a quality perspective. We still have yet to see how the sales are going to play out in comparison to the originals, but if Swift fans would like to have a better quality product, Taylor's version is definitely worth buying because it is superior to the original. And it seems that Miss Swift has been able to stay true to herself and turn out a product that she absolutely can be proud of. She brings all the feelings with the power of her vocals and turned out a record that both country and pop fans can enjoy. And if you enjoyed this review, please remember to like and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to comment your thoughts on the album below. And with that, we'll say thank you for joining us, and we'll see you here next time on Critically Disdained.